Doesn't that warrant naming a second special counsel, as 20 members of this committee wrote you 3.5 months ago asking you to do?
Well, Mr. Comey is no longer the director of the FBI.
Thank goodness.
We have an excellent man of integrity and ability in Chris Wray, and I think he's going to do an outstanding job, and I'm very happy
He's
about
not here today,
that.
Attorney General.
And I would say,
you are, and I'm asking for a special counsel.
The time of the gentleman
and I would say,
expired.
looks like is not enough basis to appoint a special counsel.
All right, that was Freedom Caucus member, Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan today grilling the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, on why the Justice Department has not appointed a special counsel to investigate the scandals I just outlined for you surrounding Hillary Clinton. Congressman Jordan is here, along with Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz and Ron DeSantis. Thank you all for being there. All right, Jim, let me start with you.
Yeah.
A week ago Friday, my sources, multiple sources, told me, A, he did not recuse himself from Uranium One. B, I have sources telling me that there is and has been an ongoing investigation. Do you believe that to be true?
Well, we hope the second part is true, but the first part, whether he's recused himself from Uranium One issue or not, he gave contradictory answers to my colleague, Mr. Gaetz, under his questioning today. So we'll see. The key is, though...
But in fairness, is it something he would be able to tell us? It would not, correct?
Well, on one hand, he said he was not recused from that. On the other hand, he said, well, maybe I'd have to check to see if I'm supposed to be recused from that. So, again, Mr. Gaetz asked him those questions, and within that same 5 minutes, he said two different things.
Matt, Congressman? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, Jim's absolutely right. We had a lack of clarity from the Attorney General, and just like you're frustrated, Sean, we're frustrated. We've been calling for 3.5 months for an investigation into these scandals, because if we allow them to continue, we erode the rule of law. The Attorney General at one point said that he would have the power to appoint a special counsel, and then later he said he wasn't sure, and that may be subject to a recusal. So we left today without a straight answer on whether or not there would be a special counsel or even what the time frame would be. That's frustrating.
Let me go to the substance, Congressman DeSantis, about all of this. I won't regurgitate. It took me 20 minutes to lay this all out tonight. There's so much detail, but to me, the evidence is so overwhelming. The idea that we've spent a year and there's no evidence of Trump, Russia collusion. Dianne Feinstein said it a week ago on Chris Wallace's show. And here we are, a year later. No smoke, 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 no fire, fire, fire. The evidence here is overwhelming. Fusion GPS, Uranium One, the email server scandal. Comey should be investigated. Your thoughts?
Well, you're right, Sean. I mean, let's just take Trump-Russia collusion. Not only is there not evidence of collusion, but we know that, or we think that the dossier that was used to justify some of this surveillance was done through the Democratic Party paying Christopher Steele, and obviously he had to pay some of these Russians to be able to get some of this information. We need to know, and Jeff Sessions would not answer, whether the FBI paid Christopher Steele for that, how much did they pay him, and whether they used it for the FISA warrant.
Don't we have a right to know? Doesn't the American taxpayer have a right to know if they paid this guy that paid Russians for salacious lies about Donald Trump to influence the election and the American people, to propagandize, lie, misinformation, distort? Don't we have a right to know? I think we do.
Absolutely.
Well, Sean, that would be the...
This is the American taxpayer. We need to know what the FBI is spending money on, and if you look at it, if, in fact, this was Democrat Party funded, you have the FBI working with one political party against another, and, oh, by the way, in collusion with Russians who are providing this information.
And, Congressman Jordan, it's the very thing they've said that Donald Trump did, and they have no evidence.
It won't be the first time the left accuse us of what they're actually doing. Look, we don't know if this happened for sure, but everything points that way, and Ron's exactly right. If one major party is working with, financing and working with the FBI to go after the other major party, taking a National Enquirer-type document, turning it into an intelligence document to spy on Americans associated with President Trump's campaign, that is as wrong as it gets. And again, if that doesn't warrant investigation, if that doesn't warrant a special counsel to look into it, I do not know what does.
To me, Congressman Gaetz, it is this serious. Are we going to have in America today a dual justice system? Or are we going to have equal justice under the law? Because if I deleted 33,000 emails that were subpoenaed by Congress, if I used BleachBit, if I destroyed devices with a hammer, if how does the FBI director Mueller at the time know Russian agents of Putin are trying to corner the uranium market? We have to import uranium. We don't have enough. 9 people sign off on this thing. Then they got the transfer of money with people involved back to the Clintons. And then they funded a phony dossier full of Russian lies to hijack an election. And now we know she already hijacked a primary. The poor Bernie Sanders. He got ripped off. It was rigged from day one.
Sean, you're absolutely right, and this is what makes the American people sick. This notion that there is one set of rules for the Clintons and another set of rules for everybody else. And you look at this investigation. Well, we look at this investigation, you've got the very people who may have been involved in keeping information from Congress, keeping information from the CFIUS process, but they're in the process of investigating the President of the United States. They're undermining our democracy now when they very well may be witnesses to the actual collusion with one of the participants in the 2016 election, Hillary Clinton.
This better happen. Last word, Congressman DeSantis.
Well, I think everything you laid out, Sean. Uranium One, we are working hard in the Congress. We're bringing the informant in. We're going to get his documents. We're going full bore on that. We will get the stuff for Fusion GPS. They're going to have to turn that over. And then finally, Comey and his memos and how he exonerated Hillary. We're getting all of that information, and we can't let up.
All right, guys, thank you. We're not letting up. All right, when we come